Okay, we are recording. Aloha, everyone, friends, food foresters, family. This is Tutu Sainz here with my dear friend and Food Forest University graduate, Crystal Hilsley. Welcome, Crystal. How are you?
I'm so good. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, this is so fun.
It is.
Um, so thank you for taking the time to come on here um, and chat with me about a few things. I wanted to ask you, like, how did your life circumstances lead you to find Food Forest University, the school?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's never a linear path. And I've been passionate about gardening and agriculture since childhood. And my business that I set up, it's called Crystal Clear Nutrition Group, or CCNG Developments, and I work in real estate and hospitality. And so I am always eager to learn and absorb as much information as I can. And a lot of the agriculture practices that have been going on, as you and I both know, are not supporting Mother Gaia at all. And there is a better way, and there has been a better way. We shifted away from that. And I think we're all sort of suffering the consequences with a broken food system, bad health, a mental health crisis, children that are expressing, mental health diseases like at rates that we've never seen before. And so when I went out into the market and started looking at how do I learn as much as I can, I came across a couple of different programs. One of them, I got certified in sustainable agriculture. Another one, I got certified in environmental management and sustainability strategy. Because my background is corporate. So I've been in corporate development and raising capital and growing businesses for the last sort of 12 years of my career. And so that sort of shift and pivot. And I believe that if you want to change the world, you need to start with your own community. And so I knew that here in San Diego, we have an abundance of sunshine, which is a perfect environment for growing a lot of food. And also that it can be done on a really small scale. So I just kept looking, and I found you, and I found your Food Forest University, and you were kind enough to invite me to your home and to be able to see it in person. And I'm also a very kinesthetic learner. I love to be hands-on and really like get my hands in the dirt and learn something firsthand rather than just like watching or listening to somebody sort of lecture on it. And so finding your program was like unlocking this new box of so much like hope and inspiration. And the platform was so easy to use. And then you were so kind, as I said, to allow me into your home and to show everything, that I just like jumped right in. And it's been really like so exciting and informative, I guess is the best phrase. And then I've just continued to build upon that.
Oh, wow. What a wonderful story that you're so interested and you sought it out. It wasn't like easy to find even, but you found it. Good for you. Oh, thank you for sharing that. That's beautiful. And so the next question that I had was, how did Food Forest You inspire you or help you? And I think you touched on that a little bit already, but would you like to add anything else?
How did it inspire me? I would say that the platform that you set it up on and all the additional tools have helped me stay really organized, because we can be inspired, I think, and get really excited. And those of us that are creatives, anybody that's listening that's a creative, we can go out there with big ideas. And you need a framework and a foundation to ground that into. And I found that Food Forest University provided that. It was like, here's the actual step-by-step process. You already worked out all the kinks. You know the process. There is a process to everything. And within that, you can get creative and choose how you're going to apply that. I mean, I apply it probably differently than everybody else in the class, and everybody else that's taken your course probably would say the same thing. Nobody's going to create the same cookie cutter food forest model or location. They could be doing it in urban environments. You could do it right out in rural areas. You could do it on top of a building if you wanted to. It's really limitless once you understand the structure and the foundation.
Wow, thank you so much. That was a great answer. That's what I really wanted it to be. It was just that 8 steps, follow these steps, and here's some guidance around how to do that. And then you can take off and do what you want to do. So, what are some projects that you've done lately after graduating from Food Forest U?
Um, One that's here locally in San Diego is we worked through, I have a nonprofit and we help underserved athletes have access to training programs, to advisory services, what to do sort of before, during, and after their career as a professional athlete. And that's a nonprofit that I formed about 7 years ago. And so we partnered with a woman who also works with underserved children in a variety of capacities. And she has 6 acres out in kind of like the back of Encinitas, sort of Elfin Forest area. And, or no, I apologize. It's Hain is the back of Encinitas. And so she had this slope. And when I looked at this slope, I was like, this is the perfect area to terrace out and do a food forest. And so it's about 1/4 of an acre. And again, it's really sloped. And so we carved a path to channel some of the water because they get a lot of runoff there. And it's clay, it's just straight dirt. There is no soil there whatsoever. And so I planted a variety of lemon trees, avocados, some mandarins, and I think some Valencia oranges. And then once those sort of take some root, following the guidelines in the university, I intend to put some sort of bushes around those and then do some more floor cover. And we did some cover crops on the hillside as well to just start building soil. So the first stage is, as you know, you're the expert, is building soil. The bottom terraces, they're quite long. One of them is 75 feet and by 12 feet. So we took kind of half of that. So it's like 75 by 6 feet of plantable space. And the second one is 80 feet. And so I followed all of, the crop mixing plans and the companion planting program that you have. And we did the bottom terrace as sort of like a herbal oasis. So lots of different herbs and like lemongrass and rosemary and mint and lavender, sort of mix them all in together. And then the top shelf, we're just experimenting with different annuals, some lettuces, and we did some climbing vines, like some peas, and we did some tomatoes, we did artichokes. We just did a variety of everything. And you kind of have no expectation that first year of planting because we're building soil, and the clay soil that's there is really not the best environment. But I just actually went back out there yesterday and had a look, and we've got to add some more infrastructure to it. But the trees are doing well, and we got the drip system set up. So that's a project here in San Diego. And then another one is a hotel and resort that I'm partnering with, and we're in the negotiation phase right now. And the design that I'm sort of thinking through is they've got quite a few different big open space areas. And so, the amazing thing about Food Forest is that you can do it on a small scale or a large scale. You don't need to have I think people kind of get misguided when they hear forest and they go, it has to be, a half an acre up to 5 acres. It really doesn't. You can really use these principles on a small little patio area and just start with the, banana tree and sort of start building that canopy and layer upon layer. So I'm using a lot of the principles in different areas of the property because although there are open spaces, pardon me, some of it they want to leave as an open space, and they want to just have little trickles and little sprinkles of food and edible landscaping throughout the property. So I'm applying all of the framework from Food Forest University, all of the templates, all of the guides that you put in there, and applying it. And it's literally my process that I'm working through on this major resort. It's
That
super
is
exciting.
so
I get so
amazing.
excited. It's so fun.
Oh, I'm so glad that you're having fun doing that. And both of these projects sound incredible. Well, you have a great deal of energy and vision. And oh, I so appreciate that about you. I'm so thrilled that you're doing all that you're doing and that I was able to help you through the 8-step path. And, oh my gosh, I'm so blessed right now. My heart, it's wonderful. And I
Okay.
know there are other people around doing it too. So it just feels good to see it spread, and you spread it out to others, and then it keeps going and going and going like seeds. I love it.
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you for sharing that. And so, in your opinion, how might Food Forest University help others?
So I think we sort of touched on it a moment ago that there is a process and there is a steps and a foundation to follow. And outside of that, we can all get as creative as we want. Again, in San Diego, this we've got so many days of sunshine. You really don't have a frost. But the guidelines that are put in place, they're so helpful, and there's no reason to sort of veer outside of that other than your own creative process. And so I think anybody that's searching for a platform that can help them build that initial knowledge, and again, always go back to it, go back to it, go back to it, go back to it. And the more that you do it, the more that it just becomes a natural process, of course. But these frameworks are sort of set up to make sure that everybody's successful. So it can be done, as I said, on a small scale up to, 5 acres, if that's what you have the responsibility of being like a shepherd of that land. And I do believe that we're shepherds of the land, and that we take care of Mother Earth and she takes care of us. And so, I think Food Forest University just really creates that initial foundation that anybody can build upon, regardless of where you live. I mean, even if it's indoors, right? I lived in Alaska, I've lived in London, like really challenging areas. And so if you've got a greenhouse, or if you have, as I just mentioned at this lovely woman's home in Livenhain, if you have a slope, really the sky's the limit. It's just applying those same principles and following the guidelines of the infrastructure, the sunlight, the soil, following, what plants are compatible, right? We're not compatible. Not all plants are compatible together. And you'd be surprised, just like I see the nasturtium behind you, it's a great ground cover and it's edible. They serve so many purposes, right? To continue to just take care of us, and to continue to like build upon your knowledge, but go back to basics.
Oh, that is so beautiful and awesome. Thank you, Crystal. You're amazing. Yes, and the nasturtium is fabulous in the rain too, because it absorbs all that rainwater that might otherwise be running off. Then it's
Yeah.
creating all that organic material that it will eventually die back in the late summer. But there it is, another layer for the soil life. Oh,
Yeah.
this is so much fun. And I the last question was, is there anything else you would like to add about food forestry in general? But I think you really covered a lot. Sir, any other final
Mhm.
words about food forestry?
No, I would just say that I think anybody that's really searching for something that will, they can put themselves into and that will also give back to them. Food forestry is that. It's a quiet place to, to meditate and to ground yourself. And I love how much passion and heart you've put into what you've created, and meeting other, like-minded people like you, and connecting in this way is just so meaningful, and so helpful, right? We are not meant to do this by ourselves. I promise you, anybody that's listening, we are not meant to do this alone. Don't go out and try and create a food forest all by yourself, because there's so much joy to be shared, and the vibrations and the energy that those plants put off, and the knowledge that you share in Food Forest University is really, again, as I said, that foundation. But we're all here to really support each other. And I said that when I was like a little girl, before I even knew what it meant, right? That we're here on earth to help each other. And so whatever that looks like to you, using the tools and foundations that are in your course, and going out and just trying it, right? I mean, the plant's not going to be mad at you if it dies. It's not, you're experimenting, and that's how you learn, is by doing. So just keep going and keep trying and keep experimenting, and find other areas that you can. I mean, gosh, so I live in Leucadia, and Leucadia is really funky. And outside of my apartment, somebody had planted watermelon seeds. And I kid you not, I went out there and I harvested watermelons right outside my front door, because somebody had just decided. So that's really like the truth of it, is that right? Mother Earth is here to take care of us, and we've got to take care of her back. So, following those steps and that foundation is really, that's the only important part, is to just make sure that just like you need to be watered and fed and taken care of, so do plants.
Oh, Crystal, that was beautiful. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
absolutely.
Thank you for coming on here today and for sharing your wisdom and your great experience that you have. And I really appreciate that you've lived around the world and you've seen a lot of things and you've experienced so much, and that you come to value the food forest message and the 8-step path. So thank you so much. And I hope you have
Welcome.
a
Thanks for having
marvelous
me.
day. And I'm sure we'll talk soon.
I know we will. Thanks, Tutu. Have a great day.
Thank you, Crystal. Bye.
Bye.